What's going on, everybody? How's it going? This is your boy Richboywayne, aka the Specialist of Opportunity, and I'm back again. Back one more time. And today we're going to be talking about Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is moving out of California, and he's moving to a special place, a place that I'm very familiar with, my hometown, which is Nashville, Tennessee. And in this video, we're going to first of all dissect and see why he would leave a great state such as California to go to the backwoods of Tennessee, to go to the flyover state. He's moving from California to a flyover state. The backwoods, the swamps, the boonies, the boondocks. No, I'm just joking. People have their perceptions, I guess, of Tennessee, but whatever your perceptions are, they're not. It's not logical. Nashville is a pretty big city, actually, and it's not as backwoods as people think. Actually, it's not backwoods at all, and I don't understand why people would say that. But I feel like the people who are saying that kind of stuff are ignorant and don't know anything. So why should you even listen to them anyway? So let's dive into this. We're going to watch this video real quick. For some strange reason, this is not wanting to work. Why is this not working? My video is not showing up here. We're having some technical difficulties here because this thing wants to be a pain in the butt for some strange reason. Okay, well, we'll use this one then. The other one didn't want to work, which is fine. I kind of, always have a backup plan just in case. But I've already watched this
Big
video.
announcement. Are you ready for it? Big announcement. So, I have been asked 1,000.
And by the way, we saw this coming. We saw it coming. We knew he was going to leave eventually. I always thought that he would go to Texas, though. It seems to be where everybody from California goes. Not necessarily Nashville, but, different strokes, I guess. I can see why. I can kind of see why. I mean, Tennessee has very, very good taxes. Our taxes are lower than Texas. And we have a large Jewish community here in Tennessee. So I think that is probably the deciding factor of why he wanted to move here. He is an Orthodox Jew, and we have a very big Jewish community here. So that's probably why, or at least one of the factors. Taxes being the second factor, and probably the main factor of why he moved his business here. And then, of course, the other factor would probably be, what he talks about in this video. I've been to California before. I've been to LA. It's way back in the 90s. So I haven't been there in a while. I mean, it was a decent place last time I went. I guess it's changed since then, apparently. So we're gonna see why he would leave a place like that. Because it used to be everybody from Nashville, at least all my friends, were like, I'm gonna leave. As soon as I get a job, I'm leaving. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to New York. I'm going to LA. Nobody was coming here. Nobody. You got made fun of, as a matter of fact, if you were from Nashville. But now it seems like the tables have turned and everybody's coming here. And it's no longer, people getting made fun of anymore. It's more like, okay, well, yeah, I can kind of see why you want to move here. But let's hear from Ben Shapiro and see why he wants to leave California.
Times over the past few years. Why in the world are you in California? Like, why? Why would Daily Wire stay in California? I mean, this place has turned into a hellhole. All you do all day long on the show is just complain about how bad California has been. And the answer was that I've been in California literally my entire life, except for a 3-year stint when I was at Harvard Law School in Boston. Aside from that, I've spent my entire life in California. He said, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? You can't, okay, you say that California's bad. Where are you going to go? The answer is we are going to Nashville. We are taking the entire company and we are picking up and we are leaving and we are putting our headquarters in Nashville. Okay, that is where the company will now be located. We're taking all 75 of our jobs and we're taking our tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue and we are moving all of that.
Yeah, which, by the way, he's not the only radio talk show host to move to Nashville, or that lives in Nashville, by the way. Dave Ramsey, in case you didn't know, is from here, and he lives in Nashville. Actually, he lives in Brentwood, which is a suburb of Nashville, which is also where I live. So, in case you didn't know that, like, he's not the only conservative, that has moved here. He's not the only conservative talk show host here. There are other people, okay? So just understand that. Understand that.
Outside the state of California. And this is specifically and really only due to the crappy governance of the state. It is not because We are foreign to the state. Again, I've lived here my entire life. My business partner, Jeremy Boring, has been here for 20 years. My parents have been here longer than I've been alive. We're not doing it because we dislike California, because we are newbies, because we couldn't take the heat, anything like that. I've been here the whole time. We are leaving because this place has become so horribly governed that if you have the means to get out, and if you have a company relying on you, and if you have employees who are relying on you, you are going to leave.
So I want to also discuss there's a new tax, I guess, or not. I'm sorry, not a new tax. What am I saying? There's a new proposal on the books in California where if you make over a certain amount of money, I forget how much it is, they tax you if you leave. Like you get taxed if you leave California. It's crazy. I'll play that video if you guys want, but it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. The taxes are crazy. It seems like the politics are crazy out there. I've known several people in the last couple of years that I've met personally who have moved from California to Nashville, and they love it. They love it. You know, if you're from a city like California and you're used to taking the subway or taking a bus or any kind of form of mass transit, you're gonna be in for a culture shock because that's not a thing in Tennessee. There is no mass transit. You might as well just not even count on that. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing. We don't use that here. You either have a car or you don't. Okay, we got Uber, Lyft, all that stuff, but if you don't have a car and you don't have Uber or Lyft, then you're pretty much screwed. I guess you can ride one of those stupid Lime scooters around if you want, but you know, yeah. So that's the biggest complaint that I hear is you guys don't have a subway system. You don't have a bus here. No, those things don't exist. They don't exist. It's not a thing here. People don't use it. The buses here are not really. They're not the greatest anyway. They're kind of nasty actually. I've ridden the bus before, so I know. And they don't really go a lot of places. Like if you're going downtown from downtown, it's great I guess. But if you live out in the suburbs where I live, then it doesn't exist. There is no bus. The only bus you're going to be riding on is the school bus, I guess, if you have children and you're going to school. Waiting on the bus, and I'd be out there for like an hour, freezing my ass off, waiting for the bus to come. I'd be so happy to hear those diesel engines pulling up, man. 'Cause you just don't know. But, yeah. Yeah, mass transit isn't really a thing here. So if you're used to that, you better have a good car. If you don't have a good car, you better get one.
We are but the tip of the spear. We are not the only ones. Elon Musk has already decided to leave the state. He'll probably be taking a lot of employees with him over time.
Elon Musk is he's probably going to go to Texas. I think he's going to go to Texas probably. I don't see Elon coming to Nashville. It'd be nice if he did, I would love, 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 love to have him in Nashville. There's a lot of Teslas out here too, or at least in the part of town that I live in. Like you see them all the time. Like every other car on the road is a Tesla here, which is great. I actually want to buy a Tesla. If I had the money, I would just go out and just get one. You know, I gotta close some more real estate deals before I do that though. I'm gonna close a couple of them before the year's out. So be prepared for it. So what in the world is this on my screen? Hold on a second. We gotta examine this. We have to examine something real quick because this is bothering me. Okay, that's that plant. Yeah, that thing was kind of bothering me. Whatever that thing is in the background. That's a plant though, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Moving on.
Rogan has already left the state. We are leaving the state as well. Again, we are taking 75 employees who are based in California, and we are moving. We have about 100 employees across the country, and we are relocating to a state that is not run like garbage, Tennessee. And now, did
Nashville is
my business partner and did Jeremy and I and Caleb Robinson, our other business partners, did we ever think that we were going to be moving this company to Nashville? No. Otherwise, we wouldn't have built up these big, beautiful studios here in Los Angeles and employed a bunch of people in Los Angeles. And hilariously enough, when we announced this to our employees, we thought, okay, a lot of people are going to be very upset about it. It turns out far more of our employees are excited about leaving California than would be excited about staying in California because this place has become unlivable. Not only is the rent too damn high because of all of the garbage zoning regulations here, but the quality of life here has degraded radically. Now, I'll be honest with you, I had a tough time convincing my wife just to leave California. Okay, and to be frank with you, I'm going to be splitting my time in some different places, not just in Nashville. But the fact is that trying to get my wife to leave California was not an easy task because she too has spent a lot of her life in California. She lived in Sacramento and now she lives in LA. And so she's been in California for a very long time. And over the past 2 years, she's looked around and she said, okay, I guess you're right. And the reason for that is perfectly obvious. Between the city of Los Angeles deciding that they were going to cede the entire city to low-level criminality, they were not going to enforce the law, they were not going to keep the streets clean, they were not going to make it livable for me to allow my children to play outside of our front gate without adult supervision, between them allowing the streets to become incredibly dirty and dangerous, because here's the reality. If I let my kids walk around the neighborhood, they will stumble across 2 open needles during the course of that walk, because the city has specifically told law enforcement they can't do anything about the rampant homelessness problem that has plagued Los Angeles. There's 66,000 homeless people in LA County. Every single underpass in LA has entire living facilities for homeless people. This is not, by the way, sympathy to the homeless, many of whom really need serious help. They are drug addicted or mentally ill, and the city has decided that in the name of freedom, they are going to allow the suburbs to be overrun by this homelessness problem that does.
Now, I will say that we do have kind of a homeless problem in downtown, in the downtown area, but not so much so in the suburbs. But that's it just I guess it depends on what part of town you live in. Because if you go to a certain part of town called Antioch here, you're gonna see tons of homeless. Um, Not so much so in the other parts like West Nashville and the Brentwood area, Franklin. You're not really gonna see it, but it's mostly downtown, and it used to not always be like that either. A couple of years ago, you could walk down the riverfront area. You can go down Broadway. You can go down Second Avenue. It was great. Have a good time. Didn't have to worry about people asking you for change. Never had any problems whatsoever. You go down there now, somebody's gonna be asking you for change. Somebody's gonna be, begging you for something. And so, even with all that, I still feel pretty safe, walking down there. I try to stay away from downtown though, if at all possible, because they got rid of the free parking. So they charge you like $10 or $20 to park. Screw that. I don't want to go down there and pay that because I'm cheap. So I either take an Uber or I just don't go downtown. Don't really hang out there. My favorite bars that I go to are in the outskirts of town, and they have parking, and I can just park there, and it's great. And I kind of enjoy that. I kind of enjoy that.
Affect people who are paying their taxes. And between the fact that they've decided to defund the cops and move away from allowing the police to do their jobs entirely, between the increased taxes and the higher levels of crime and the lower levels of cleanliness, between the fact that God decided to plague the state with a giant wildfire spate over the last several years, apparently. It's like, I didn't need the help, God. Like, I got it. I didn't need the signs and the wonders to drive me from California. And frankly, I'm just hoping that when Michael Knowles looks back.
It's like the plagues of Egypt. You got what it was, the locust, rain and fire and brimstone. What was it? What was the third one? Um, you know, the firstborn being killed off. That's abortion right there. That's what that is. What was it? What was the other one? I forget what the other one was. But the last one was the angel of death. Now that one right there is a wake up call. That one right there is what's going is coming to California. That's what's going to happen. It's the seven plagues of Egypt all over again. That's what it is. I called it. I called it on my talk show here, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So
Back at California, as we make our way out, that he turns around, he looks back, and he immediately turns into a pillar of salt. Like, that is my dream. But whether or not that happens, we are leaving, and you're going to see more of this. Again, you're going to see a lot of this. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. You're going to see this in L.A. You're going to see this in San Francisco.
New York is having the same problem too, and they're actually they're like how many billionaires left? I forget. I gotta look that stuff up, but like a lot of the high rises in Manhattan are vacant right now. I guess it's good for real estate prices, because the rent was too damn high, and in my opinion, it still is in New York. But It's sad. It's sad. And I mean, politics aside, I mean that's what happens when you run a state into the ground. That's what happens. New Jersey, same thing. New York, same thing. California, same thing. Portland and Seattle, same thing. You see this over and over and over and over and over again. Memphis, same thing. Nashville, same thing. You know, the only saving grace for us is that outside of Davidson County, things are great. You know, and Nashville doesn't really have idiots running it. We do have a couple. We have like one guy. I'm not gonna say who he is. You know, I'm not gonna say who he is, but we have a good governor. We have a good governor. We have a good senator and great people who really care about this city, and that's important. It's important to have your city run by people who care about it. That makes all the difference in the world. Who are residents, long-term residents, not somebody who just lived there, for who just moved there and they've only been there for like a couple of years. No, people who've lived there their whole lives. They're invested. They have family here. They have friends here, and they don't want to see the city go to crap. So that makes a huge difference, in my opinion.
People are going to pick up and they're going to leave. And the people who are most likely to leave are the people who can afford to leave.
Yep.
Let's be honest about this. The people who are going to get trapped in Los Angeles are the people who are lower middle class.
Yep. The middle class.
Because they don't have the wherewithal to pick up and leave. They don't get to decide, honestly, where their jobs take place. As the head of a company, I get to decide where we take our jobs, and we are excited to allow our people a better living standard, moving to some place like Nashville that is not governed like garbage in a red state, than forcing them to stay in a place that is very difficult to raise children and to live. But blue states for too long have thought that they can govern as badly as they want and there will be no consequences. That's true to a point, and then beyond that point, it is no longer true. We have reached the breaking point. We are leaving, and so Daily Wire will see you in Nashville.
All right. So the title of my video is where would Ben Shapiro live if he moved to Nashville? If he, well, I guess it's not an if. When he moves to Nashville, where is he going to live at? Where would he live at? So let's pull up a map of Nashville. There you go. There's a good downtown picture for you. We're gonna say pull up a map. Let's go to maps. There we go. The maps right here. All right. So here we have the map of Nashville, Tennessee, and really, there's only two places that I can imagine that he would probably want to live. Um, so he's probably going to either move to the west side of town, which is where I probably would think he would live. It's real nice over here, real fancy apartments, um, you know. Or he's gonna live on the south side in like the Brentwood, Franklin area, which is where I live at. So he's gonna live either here or up here. I would probably say he's probably gonna live in Brentwood because Brentwood is more new money. See, Franklin is more old money, and he's either gonna live in Brentwood or, like I said, he's gonna live in West Nashville. West Nashville has a huge Jewish population, so I would probably guess if I had to wager on something here, he's probably gonna live here in the West Nashville. Which, if I could live here, I would live here in this area. Now let's look at some houses in that part of town, and let's see. To do that, we'll go to Zillow, and we'll see what type of houses are in West Nashville. So I think the zip code there is 37203. If I am, so this is the West Nashville area, and as you can see, got some pretty nice apartments. He's probably not gonna live in an apartment though, to just be honest here. So we're gonna change this, and we're gonna go with a house. He's not gonna want to live in an apartment. Not really gonna find too many houses here though. So we need to actually go. And we'll just do all of Nashville for the sake of argument. You know, for the sake of argument, we'll go here. And you know, I want to say that this is a real good area right here. And 1.7, this is what you'll get in Tennessee, in case you didn't know, in case you're not familiar with the Nashville real estate market. By the way, I am a realtor and I am a real estate investor, in case you didn't know that. Of course, you probably do because you're watching my channel, which is about real estate and investing and credit and things that have to do with investing. So, you can go get you one of these houses here. It's a beautiful pool. Nice fireplace, nice outdoor area. I guess this is like a pool house right here. I wouldn't know because growing up, I didn't have nothing like this. But there's the front view, I guess. Yeah, that's the front view. Ooh, a three-car garage. You can park your Lamborghini in one. You got your Tesla in the other. And then you have your mom, your minivan. Your SUV for your kids. Cause I swear, like everybody has that. That's like everybody's set up here. You got the Tesla in this one. You got the Porsche, Ferrari, in this one. Then you got the minivan, and SUV parked in this one. Maybe instead of a Porsche or Lamborghini, you have a Hummer, you have an H3. You park here. You know. Again, see, my first job that I ever had was landscaping. So I don't really care too much for the landscaping here. I would trim these bushes back a little bit so that you can actually see the house. Um, but I'd imagine that whoever buys this house, they're probably gonna have landscapers come in anyway. Just my observation. That is a nice view of the neighbor's yard. Is that the grass? Oh, that's a bush. Never mind. Um, you know, Seems kind of small for an office, but I guess that's fine. Guess it's like the dining room area. That's nice. You know, I'm really feeling the black, dark brown cabinets, and what I don't like is this. I don't like that carpet there. I don't like that carpet at all. This is a nice living room. Another living room area. Another part of the living room. Excuse me. Um, this is like a sitting area. This seems to be like the sitting patio area. It's a nice view of the backyard. I mean, I'm interested to see the backyard on this house. It's a nice kitchen. I guess this is um, the other part of the kitchen. I guess just like an office. Okay, I guess this is the master bedroom. That's a nice bed with a fireplace. This is something like what I would like. It's a really nice bathroom. I love that walk-in shower right there. I love that. Then you got this. I guess it's like an exercise room. Um, this is like somebody's child's room. I guess the rooms aren't very big in this house, by the way. They're really not. And then I guess this is a guest room, maybe. Maybe this is the another master bedroom. I don't know. Wow, that's a huge hall. That's a huge hall. I love that. Okay, this is the view of the backyard. This is a pretty decent sized backyard. So I do like that. This is like the patio area, which is nice too, I guess. And that's it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I rate this mansion probably a 7. I wasn't really impressed by that one, to be honest. Instead, we're just going to go from high to low. Here we go. We want to see some real mansions. I'd imagine that Ben Shapiro probably got, some racks on him. He's not going to want to live in like a $300,000 house. He doesn't seem like the type of guy who would do that. But I don't think he's the type of guy that would live in an $8.7 million house either. So I want to do a happy medium here. We're going to do a happy medium. And we're going to say from, we'll say a million. No, we'll say 900,000. We'll say 900,000 plus. Whoops, I did that wrong. To about 3 million. Maybe he's a little bit more conservative with his finances. So we're going to say he's going to live probably in this area if I had to guess. Because these are where the more expensive houses are in West Nashville. So let's take a look at some real quick. Here we go. Let's go and dive into this thing here. That's a nice pool. I love that pool. It's a nice yard. Um, I don't really like this neighborhood though because it's too. You have to understand something about me. I grew up in the country. Okay, I grew up in the country. We didn't have neighbors like this, so that's what I'm used to. Like for me, I wouldn't buy this just because of the neighbors. But different strokes for different folks. That's a beautiful living room. I love like the modern look of it. Ugh, what's the deal with that green? Ugh, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that green kitchen at all. That's kind of cool. And you'll also notice that we don't really have blinds here in Tennessee. It's not a thing people do because they live out in the country. They don't care. People see them. They don't care. We don't really close our curtains here. We're very open. We're very open people. So we like open air designs and things like that. This bed is way too small, so I would never want to have a bed like that. Um, as for that, I love this walk. I love these walk-in showers. I love them. This is kind of cool too, like a towel rack sort of thing. Haven't seen that before. I'm really feeling the skylight here. That's really nice. I love the black paneling because black is my favorite color. I love it. I love it. I wish more living rooms had that. This is like a more modern home, like maybe like a younger couple. I think that yeah, he would probably like something like this if I was Ben Shapiro. He doesn't seem like he's really into like the old country style homes that you see here with the wood paneling on the floors and stuff. So this would be something like more like what he would be into, you know. I love the. Oh, that's cool. You have a bed that folds out. That is kind of cool. I'm really feeling the door right there. I haven't seen that outdoor bathroom door or the bathroom door that leads outside. I haven't seen that before. I will have to admit. Okay, this room I don't really care too much for. This one I do. I like this room. Don't care too much for this one because it's too small. This may be like a guest room or something like that anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is like obviously a girl's room. You know, I forget how many kids did he say he has? Doesn't he have three? So yeah, he would probably want something with like a decent sized bedroom for his kids. This has a nice outdoor grill. Um, I'm really feeling this backyard though. Like I love this backyard. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. And it has like this little area up here. That's kind of cool. So all in all, I give this one on a scale of 1 to 10. I give this about an 8. I'd buy it. I'd buy it. Has a pretty good house, pretty good cut actually. Okay, so this one is more along the neighborhood that not necessarily the one that I grew up in. 'Cause I grew up more on this side of town, not necessarily on this side, but I'm not opposed to living on this side. Let's just take a look. This is on Franklin Pike. This is a white brick house. I like the little castle look. I think I've passed by this house before actually. Um, Again, nice backyard. I like the pool. I love this kitchen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love this kitchen. I love the white backsplash, the light colors, and the dark cabinets. Beautiful. Love it. I'm already loving this one. So let's see. Living room. Excuse me, kitchen. That's a beautiful kitchen. Ooh, is that a wine cellar? It is a wine cellar. That's cool. Nice living room. You got the wood paneling doors. Like you'll see that a lot of the houses, the more expensive houses here, have that for some strange reason. I don't know why. Um, I guess people like the whole barn door sort of thing. I don't get it. I grew up in the country. Why would you ever have that in a $1 million house? $1 million house? Is it $1 million? $1 million house. Excuse me. Why would you have that in there? I have no idea. So pool table. I guess it's like a game room kind of. Yeah, that's like you'll see that on a lot of houses here for some strange reason. I have no idea why. But I like those wooden doors. This is kind of new. I haven't seen one of these before. Just like a weird bathtub, like an oval shaped bathtub. You don't really see that a lot. Um, the shower I'm feeling. I like those walk-in showers. I like the light colors in the bathroom altogether, and I'm really feeling the plants. This has to be like a guest room. This is like the outdoor area, another outdoor area, um, or another part of the outdoor area. Excuse me. Once again, This I don't like. I don't like the neighbors looking in on you when you're in the pool. That's kind of creepy. Like I don't. I like this walk-in closet though. So I have about this many clothes in my closet right now. Okay, I like the idea of the washer and dryer in the walk-in closet. That's kind of cool. That's a nice bed. I love that. Once again, I love the walk-in. I like this paneling on the wall too. Um, this stone. I love that. I love houses that have that. This is like a carport area, I guess, but it's not a covered carport area. So when it snows outside, you're going to have to go and, do that. I like the movie theater. This is kind of cool. The only thing I'd do differently is maybe have some curtains right here. But other than that, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. This is like, I guess, an entryway. Exercise room, of course. And that's it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give this house a solid 8. A solid 8. I'd buy it. I'd buy it. If I had 2.9 mil, I'd buy it. No, this one is that a vacant lot? We don't want vacant lots. Come on. You need to change that. I don't want no stupid lots. We want houses. And I'm not really partial to living in these areas where there's lots of people. So let's go for something a little bit more obscure. Let's see. Oh, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling it. That is a beautiful dining room. This dining room is a 10 out of 10. I give this a 10 out of 10. I love the color scheme. I love this office here. The kitchen is that's beautiful. Is that part of the house or is that the neighbor's house? This is the neighbor's house. It looks like. See, I was hoping for something more secluded. Like all these houses are so close to each other. I really want something more secluded. I would imagine that Ben Shapiro would probably want something secluded too. Like something like this would be great for him. Um, Let me change the prices. Maybe that's why I'm seeing all these houses here. Okay, yeah, because this is a real nice secluded area. There's not much out here. Well, he's on Granny White though. I would say more on Hillsboro is where you're gonna find the more secluded area. I'd imagine that's what he'd probably live at if I had to guess. I didn't realize my shirt was doing that too. By the way, this green screen that I have is not very good. It's ghetto. It's a ghetto setup. Okay, it's not doing it there. That's weird. Let's see. Maybe the focus. Never mind. Okay. So I would imagine that if I was Ben Shapiro, if I was Ben Shapiro and I had his racks, that he has, I would probably live in this part. Like I love this part of town. I used to work over here actually in the Green Hills area, so I love this part of town here. Um, I've always loved it. I've always known it's had potential, and he's more than likely he's either going to live here or I guess as a secondary choice he's going to live in the Brentwood area. This is where I grew up at, so highly recommended, of course. Great schools, A plus schools, great location, easy access to the interstate. You can be downtown in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on traffic. Great area, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the financial map of Nashville. So, we're going to look at what is it? Look, what am I looking for? Financial. I pulled this up once and I forgot where I got that at. Uh, oh, shoot. I know what I'm looking for. Here we go. Here we go. I think this was in homes.com, but this is by zip code. We want a map. We want a map. Let's pull up some maps. Or some images, rather. Okay, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for something along the lines of this. Okay, sorry this is so small, too. There's no way for me to really resize it for you guys to see this. So, sorry about that. But over here, you see the map. Demographics. And for the greatest income increase, you can see that West Nashville, of course, greatest income decrease is this is probably the areas you don't want to live in here. And then, as I said before, this is probably where he's going to be living at in this area right here. So, the majority of people that live in Nashville are high school graduates, by the way, in case you didn't know that. We got some college graduates. Per capita income, the average income here is 55,000, which is kind of weird because you have these $1 million houses here, but you have people who only make 55,000, so something isn't right with that. Employment industries, of course, is healthcare. I work in healthcare, retail, and real estate, IT. Yeah, IT isn't really a big thing here. Let's see. There's a lot of Germans. Popular real estate near Nashville. Bellmead, which is that West Nashville area. Berry Hill, which is also West Nashville. And then there's Brentwood, which is where I grew up at. And zip codes in Tennessee, Nashville. Real estate in popular Nashville neighborhoods is the Blair Boulevard and the city center. Hey, this is where I live, right here. Ooh. Let's look at the crime, because I know people are interested to see that. So where is all the crime going down? You see, there's not really much here. More of it's here in North Nashville and on this part of South Nashville. But let's see. They're gonna go down here, and what are the types of crime? What is the main crime? I guess it doesn't say. It doesn't say, of course. It just says crime. It could be anything. Let's look at schools. What are the good schools? Best Nashville neighborhoods for education, Green Hills. Again, West Nashville. Hillsborough Pike, that's also West Nashville. That's also in that area. I was hoping people would say Brentwood, but I guess that's not really part of Nashville, though, is it? Most expensive Brentwood neighborhoods. That's expensive? That's not expensive. This is expensive. That's the real expensive places. Let's see, what's the cheapest place? Look, I'm all about getting value, okay? So, anyway, you get the point. You get the point. So if I was him, yeah, probably leaning more towards West Nashville. He'd fit right in over there. But let's listen to some other people, because other people have had some pretty interesting comments about this. Let's see.
Bottom percentile.
There are people who are dying on our streets. The estimate is that 1,000 people will die on the streets of Los Angeles.
All of this, combined with an extremely high cost of living, is forcing residents and businesses to leave the state at record numbers.
I'll tell you, Californians, when they move to Texas, they're shocked. Their standard of living goes up 40 to 50% overnight.
Is Texas the new California?
The rivalry between Texas and California.
The largest number of people relocating to Texas are coming from California.
And many of us are leaving not only California, but other liberal states for a better lifestyle for our children.
Failed liberal policies are just simply encouraging the situation.
People just saying we can't put up with this anymore. You just can't live like this.
California and Texas both have large amounts of land, plenty of natural resources, minority-majority populations, and are home to some of the country's biggest corporations. These similarities, matched with their glaring policy differences, makes them perfect for comparison. Over half of Californians are thinking of leaving the state, and the biggest reason why is the sky-high cost of living.
The cost of living in California is somewhere between 40 and 50% higher than it is in Texas.
Houston, you can get a 3-bedroom house for a couple $100,000 with a backyard. Your kids can play. You can throw a ball with your kids in the back.
Okay, so let's take a look at Zillow, and let's take a look at Nashville again. And like I was saying earlier, more than likely, Ben Shapiro is going to settle along this area. This is a nice area, by the way. Really good schools, A+ schools, great community, and This is a nice area. This is a really nice area. Oh, this is a house for rent. Let's take a look at this house. Is it a duplex or is it something else? Oh my goodness, this is a good find. This is a really good find. So if Ben Shapiro wanted to rent out an apartment or a house, hey, he could do so for $900 a month, which he should easily be able to afford that. And it's in a good area, right down the street from Green Hills. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to go out of that. Sorry. Okay. So you can kind of see why he wants to move here. We got the jobs, good schools, great communities, within walking distance of a major mall, one of the best malls in my opinion in this area. You can't really see it here. Let me go on Google and I'll show you guys that neighborhood. That side of town. Let's go here. You know, got good schools, great neighborhood, within walking distance of like a pharmacy. There's a Trader Joe's in this neighborhood. Real good high-rise apartments here that are very nice. I have been up there before. Real good burger place here too. But I really want to show you guys the neighborhoods in this area so you guys can see what it is I'm actually talking about. So here are the neighborhoods, and as you can see, this is what you're going to be surrounded by. You know, just beautiful houses here, great neighborhoods, gated communities. It's a great part of town. He's probably going to move here. Okay, if I had to guess, and if I was a gambling man, which I am, he probably lives somewhere over here, you know, in this community. But you know, he can live pretty much wherever he wants because he has money. And if you have money and you're looking to live in Nashville, or maybe you're an out-of-state investor and you want to invest in Nashville, yours truly is an investor. So what you can actually do is you can hit me up. I'll leave my information in the description of this video. And if you're interested in buying a house or selling one, you can hit me up. You know, go ahead, hit me up, and I will get in touch with you, and we'll go from there. You know. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see future videos from me, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Alright.
I don't ask, I just go for it. And I don't care who sees. I don't like to